Totally baseless.
Hey, it's Totally Baseless. My name's John, and with me is Dave.
Hey.
And Dan. How are you doing, Dan?
Doing all right.
Doing all right. You're not feeling the flames of hell tickling your feet?
It is feeling a little warm over here in California.
Yes. All the hellfire in California keeps you nice and tan. Yeah, if you were a good book, you'd be feeling really, really hot. But like any good podcast, we're going to start with some good old-fashioned book burning. A pastor in Tennessee led a book burning of Harry Potter and Twilight novels in a suburb of Nashville called Mount Juliet. And it drew large crowds, which tells you something else about that area, and was also live streamed. So you might have some actual footage from this event, Dave?
Oh yeah. This is great, actually. Let's listen in here.
Keeping my copy of Darwin's Origin of Species in Fahrenheit 451. Woohoo! Praise Satan! Woohoo! Hail Satan!
So that guy's very enthusiastic about his book burning, but he's a protester, right?
Yeah. The funny thing is, he throws in the Bible and he says, "Woohoo! I just burned the Bible," and everybody's cheering because they didn't hear him say, "I just burned the Bible." So he says it again, and then he starts saying, praise Satan. That's when everybody catches on and realizes that this guy's fucking with them. and he walks off saying, praise Satan, praise Satan. Him and his husband get in the car, and the crowd's all around them, right? And so just to piss them off, just to kick them in the nuts one more time, they start making out in the car.
Oh, that's such a bummer when you see that at a book burning.
Hey, we came here for book burnings.
Not the gayness. We came for book burning.
Yeah,
that's tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's the next day. Yeah, that's a different kind of flaming.
Yeah.
So he threw in a copy of Fahrenheit 451.
No. He came in with 3 books, and he threw in the Bible, and then he said, "I'm keeping these 2 though: Darwin's Origins of Species."
On the Origin of Species, yeah.
Yeah, and Fahrenheit 451. Woohoo!
So he saved the good books.
Yeah.
Well, this guy Greg Locke is the pastor who did this. He said, well, he posted on Facebook that he was fighting the Freemason devils, and that I ain't gonna be suiciding myself no time soon. He said that during a sermon prior to the book burning.
Yeah.
Which I think this all lines up with Tennessee's new initiative to be like the most illiterate state in the union.
Yeah, what kind of example is that? Think of the children. That's all I'm saying. Think of the children. So, Mama, books are bad? Well, just not the one.
They were counter protesting across the street, right? And they were blasting Highway to Hell and showing a Harry Potter movie on a big giant projector just to mess with these guys.
Oh man.
Apparently they also burned all the grammar books too. I ain't gonna be suiciding myself.
I thought he would talk like more biblically, like thou shalt not suicide thyself.
Yeah,
or something like that. But no, maybe he doesn't read that book either.
No, these guys are like Southern Baptists. They speak in tongues, man. That's what that is.
They're speaking in tongues.
So he said stuff like on his Facebook post, he said, "We're not playing games. Witchcraft and accursed things must go, and stop allowing demonic influences into your home."
Yeah, I do go by the name of Anton LaVey on the weekends. So
the funny thing is, I kind of agree with them on the Twilight series, but that's just on taste. I mean,
just because
it's more like stop publishing it.
Yeah, that book sucks.
I think.
So you've read it? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've seen the movies.
Oh man. Okay. I'm proud to say I've not seen that. But the Freemason devils, some of this conspiracy stuff, I don't get the. I guess the Freemasons are like control the world or something.
Yeah, them, the Illuminati, the Rothschilds,
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, yeah. There's a whole list of them. I mean, you got to be
Yeah,
it's a tangled web of major international corporations.
Yeah, those educated people and their money,
their grammar.
Well, book burnings aren't the only big thing happening these days. Also, the Olympics are going on right now. And what's an Olympics every century or so without a genocidal dictator hosting it? It's just a quick question before we get into it. Is this going to be remembered like the 1936 games in Berlin? Yes or no?
Time will tell.
I'd like to say yes, but given by society's short memories that we had 1936 and we have to ask this question, probably not. Because it's like,
Yeah.
What does he mean, the 1936? What was
Yeah,
wrong with that?
well, what happened then?
Didn't we also have book burnings in 1936?
Yeah.
Yet here they
oh,
are.
yeah.
Yet here they are again. So
It's a good thing we learned from history. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I don't
We're a
think
very
we've made the
wise
correlation yet.
race.
Wait a minute. We had book burnings. We had a genocidal dictator leading the Olympics. What could go wrong?
Yeah. This is not a bad fact pattern at all.
Yeah, no.
Well, one of the dictators, it was kind of funny. He fell asleep, and I like the way that's in quotes, even in the title of the story, falls asleep, wink, wink, when the Ukrainian team came out and paraded in front of him. So I can't imagine that like he had something in his ear saying, they're coming. Go ahead, fall asleep now. Go ahead, pretend to sleep.
Well, especially the super virile Vladimir Putin, who can like plow through anything and wrestle bears. All of a sudden, he develops narcolepsy in the middle of a massive ceremony.
Yeah. Well, as we all know, Russia is completely surrounded, almost completely surrounded the Ukraine, and where maybe by the time this is released, they'll be like, well, they've already invaded. They've already owned Ukraine now and invaded. But at this point, they've just only surrounded them with 130 some thousand troops in Belarus and Russia.
no, I think it was a flex move, right? He's got like one eye closed and one eye open, kind of looking, but not really.
Yeah, exactly. Because when the ROC team, the Russian Olympic Committee team came by, just not that much later, he was awake and standing and cheering
Yeah.
for his team, for his people.
Oh, I was just nodding off for a second. Where was I?
Yeah,
Yes, honestly, only during the Ukrainian team. That's all.
Or another theory, I think he partied a little too much. He might be hungover. You know, him and Xi Jinping went out there. They went to the Olympic Village. You know, they're looking for
Chicken
dates. Yeah. You know, they got their
Nuggets.
they got the
Are they Harold and Kumar kind of thing?
yeah. You know, they're ready to do some damage, right?
Well, if we want to go back to the 30s, the original photo, you see in the photo, there's nobody around him, but in the original, there was 3 guys there that were erased from the picture
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
supposedly they let him fall asleep.
They disappeared. Well, I got another theory. This is like a reverse hangover movie where in the movie, right, 4 guys go out and they leave one.
Yeah.
This one, he goes out with 4 guys and he comes back and he leaves 3 somewhere, have disappeared.
He has a habit of erasing people, so it's like
Yeah. Yes. Ukraine is soon to be next, right?
Yeah, that's right. All right,
Oh.
enough of Sleeping Beauty. Other things going on at the Olympics. Condoms are available, but hugs are discouraged at the Beijing Winter Olympics. They're giving you condoms to use when you get home,
Yeah.
not for use at the Olympic venue, which
They're
is
souvenirs.
similar to what happened at the last summer's Tokyo Games. They gave out 150,000 condoms, but told them to keep them until they got home, which of course, every one of them was verified to have done. In other
Like-
words, they had sex without the condoms.
There's that.
we didn't use the condoms. We didn't use them.
I swear I didn't use the condoms.
Well, the condoms, maybe they were for like safe self-sex. You know, that way you don't have to clean up a lot.
Yeah, right.
Here you go. We don't want to make up your room after you're done. So just use one of these. But or maybe it's like, you know how in the Olympics, they trade pins. Now they're trading
Fluids?
yeah. I guess so, right? Because they're not using the condoms.
So it
Yeah,
says for like
exactly.
souvenir use only.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of
Yeah.
guys thinking they're having safe sex and they're being protected.
For entertainment purposes only. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
never mind.
Wait a minute.
Wait a
9
second. Sorry about that.
Yeah, 9 months from now they'll figure it out.
Yeah, Eileen Gu won't be the only mixed race person in 9 months from now. That's all I'm saying.
I like how she thinks that she's representing China, yet she's getting a lot of favoritism.
Oh man, yeah, she's a whole. We could do a whole episode just
Yeah.
on her. But the funny thing is that just happened is that she got in some trouble. Actually, her and her mother have been very very careful to play both sides to profit as much as possible. Let's be honest. But she got in a little bit trouble because she recommended that people use VPNs to get around
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
basically to break the law. So what she texted was well actually somebody posted that why can you use Instagram and millions of Chinese people from mainland cannot? Why you get such special treatment as a Chinese citizen, which we don't know. She's keeping
Yeah.
that secret.
Yeah.
And then she replied back saying, anyone can download a VPN. It's literally free on the App Store. And it's literally not well. Actually, somebody else posted a reply that says it all. Really, literally, I'm not anyone. Literally, it's illegal for me to use a VPN. Literally, it's not fucking free at all. So
Yeah, aside from those minor details.
Yeah.
yeah,
it-
so
it-
they're hitting her up for being privileged and not privileged just for
Well,
being born and raised in America
Yeah.
and being free, but also she's very, very, very rich.
Yeah, I think it's funny that she's choosing to represent China, yet she probably has no real idea how the average Chinese person lives.
No, I think she was monetarily enticed
oh,
to choose
oh,
Yeah,
China.
I think
yeah,
she
yeah, no.
knows.
That's what I meant. I mean,
So she's like conveniently, she's like, what? Don't you all get paid millions of dollars by the Chinese government to not acknowledge genocide in the Uyghurs? I did.
yeah.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Why not? Yeah, when somebody else asked her what about the border restrictions between Vietnam and Myanmar, where they're putting up walls all around China now to prevent interaction.
Would you say
they
these
said-
walls are great?
Yeah, well, it is called the South Great Wall. Actually, this has been for a few years now. When they asked her about the farmers who couldn't trade across the border anymore, Eileen Gu said, "Hey, just have your personal chef take the private jet over the border and get whatever he needs.
Duh.
And you'll be fine."
What, you can't? Never been?
You've never
Never
been.
been?
Yeah.
Exactly. Just
She
use your
is-
American passport to leave and go wherever
like
you
I
want.
did.
China is famously has a lockdown internet. There's no Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Google searches. You type in Tiananmen Square massacre, and the police will show up faster to your house
Yeah.
than if you called and said it was on fire.
Yeah, that's like actually like super code right there. Anything involving Tiananmen, they're there.
Yeah.
It's-
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think China is obviously using Eileen Gu as a big like FU. Look, she chose China. She
Yeah.
could have been the great American Satan, but she chose
The great
China.
American Satan. Yes. Well, not all would-be dictators are in China. Marjorie Taylor Greene had a funny malapropism this past week. She mistakenly said, not only do we have a DC jail, which is a DC gulag, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's Gazpacho police spying on members of Congress. So yeah, people think she was trying to say Gestapo.
I got audio of that too, if you want to hear it.
Oh yeah.
Not only do we have the DC jail, which is the DC gulag, but now we have Nancy Pelosi's Gazpacho police spying on members of Congress, spying on the legislative work that we do, spying on our staff, and spying on American citizens that want to come talk to their representatives. This government has turned into something it was never meant to be, and it's time to make it end.
Nice
Yeah.
working that in there.
Yeah. she's batshit crazy. Come on.
Oh yeah. But what's even like crazier is like, did she mean like if her defense is like, oh, I meant to be silly? You know, like either defense angle does not work good. Either she's too stupid to know what the Gestapo is, or she tried to make a joke about the Gestapo by comparing
No,
it to
No.
I meant to say Stasi,
Yeah.
right?
the Stasi police.
Oh, in that case, never mind.
No,
But, like-
I'm pretty sure she doesn't realize that there's a difference between Gestapo and Gazpacho.
Oh, yeah, she probably thinks it was actually the Gazpacho that was arresting Jews in the 30s and killing them. So it's like,
Yeah.
either way, she's not a.
Don't
it's not
forget
a
about
good
the gypsies. Please don't forget about the
Yeah.
gypsies.
Maybe she went to school in Tennessee. I don't know.
one. I got this pamphlet here from Tennessee. This is
Yeah.
all you need to know. But yeah, I'm getting tired of these politicians that like when they don't know stuff. Well, I'm just like my constituents. I'm just like a common person. I don't want an idiot to tell me how to run the country.
Well,
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm stupid, I want something smarter than me making decisions.
exactly.
Right?
When did becoming smart become a drawback to being a politician?
About 5 years ago. But like, yeah, there should be like this fundamental level of knowledge to become a public official. It's like, once again, do you know the difference between soup and a murderous secret police? No, you're out.
The only thing she has going for her, not that it's a good thing, is just self-righteous anger, right? I don't think you want that in a politician.
Well, at least not self-righteous anger from a person that's obviously an imbecile.
Well,
Well,
maybe she couldn't think straight because the mask was cutting off oxygen to her brain.
she doesn't wear a mask. She gets fined at like $50,000 every time she goes to Congress.
She's been fined a total of $50,000. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She tried to play it off like it was a big joke. Well, I mean, which it was. She made a stupid mistake. So she played it off by saying, "No soup for those who illegally spy on members of Congress, but they will be thrown in the goulash." Well, she's so clever, though.
but
She's so funny. See what she did there?
yeah, that's even worse though. It's like, really, you're still trying to like fix it and defend it with like more puns. Like, just cut your losses and stop talking.
Yeah, she's like a little kid when they make a mistake, but they want to cover it up. So they make the mistake again and say, see, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
I just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. She was a little distraught too because her fingers were a little burned from the book burning, her own book burning the night before. Well, maybe she was on drugs, but you wouldn't know it if you were in Major League Baseball anymore. They've stopped testing their players for steroids after nearly 20 years of testing. What's up with that?
Yeah, well, due to the lockout, I guess the agreement expired right before the lockout, so they just never bothered to do it. So basically what it means is that these guys aren't being tested right now. So technically, they're free to take all the PEDs they want.
Wait,
I mean,
PED, performance enhancing drug?
Oh, yeah. They can, I mean,
I got it.
it's like the all drug Olympics right now for them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
being on the Russian Olympic Committee team.
Yeah. I mean, they can take all that shit, inhale, inject whatever they want.
Yeah. So it's gonna be like free for all, like
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong spring break for these guys.
Yeah. I mean, so when the season comes back, right, it's going to be a little suspicious. You're going to have guys that are like faster, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're hitting 50 home runs before the All-Star break. I mean, after a while, we're going to be like, wait a minute. How come this guy has like the big old bobblehead? He looks like the kid from Mask or something.
So this is a temporary thing until they have a new agreement, or what?
Yeah. So they're locked out. There's no collective bargaining agreement. They can't. There's no like contracts right now. They can't train at any facilities. So they're pretty much like on their own. So it's like a blackout. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
But right now, like
Oh.
it's a free for all, and then you won't realize it until the season starts when they start jacking up dingers. I mean, Barry Bonds is probably pissed that he's not able to play anymore. It's like, damn it.
So it's like a frat house right now. Like, so you can't leave. So you're saying Major League Baseball players are like little children you can't leave alone for a second?
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. I mean,
okay, you guys,
They're-
I'm gonna leave the house now. Some teenagers with like all this
Yeah.
booze in the house or
And
something.
if all this booze gets drinking, I don't know what happened.
We don't have an agreement. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I didn't agree to tell you not to drink the beer, kids. So,
and these guys are supposed to be athletes, right? And it's like,
And role models.
yeah,
you're on the honor system, fellas. We're going to trust it. You're not going to be injecting anything for the next 3 months till we sort this out. Yeah. I was just working on my uncle's farm during the off season to stay in shape.
Yes, yes.
big old humongous head they have. No, not us.
Well, yeah, that was like the whole Barry Bonds thing. Like his hat size grew like 3 sizes. Like whose head keeps growing after 35 years of age? Like,
I've been book reading. I've been doing a lot of the book reading. All right. Unlike any Major League Baseball player, I've not agreed at all not to take any drugs. So with that, I'll start my weekend. This is Totally Baseless. Thanks for listening. My name's John. We have Dave and Dan, and we'll see you next week. Please hit subscribe.
Adios.
hasta luego.